telegraph a pitch if I could. And I'm going to ask a question, and I'm going to give him some time to think about it. And then I just want to think out loud as I've listened to this hearing today. I'm going to be asking a question of Mr. Lord of you in a few minutes. And the question is, can you provide a general overview of the improvements in IRS capabilities since the Inflation Reduction Act's implementation, particularly in addressing high income tax evasion? And can you speak to what further investments or policy changes you might recommend to build on those successes? So just be thinking about that. And I'm going to say, let's talk for a little bit, and I'll come back to you to respond to that question, okay? All right. I'm a recovering governor. I was privileged to be governor of Delaware for 8 years, served as the chairman of the National Governors Association for part of that time. And one of the things I most enjoyed doing as governor is working with other governors. And we had an entity within the National Governors Association called the Center for Best Practices. And it's a vehicle that enables states to borrow ideas from other states and share ideas that work or don't work. And if I'm one of the pieces of advice I'd recommend for this committee going forward, and I think we have great leadership on both the Democratic and Republican side here, but to look to the states, I always like to find out what works, do more of that, and the idea that states are laboratories for democracy, and we could probably learn some things from them with respect to tax policy, because they all have tax policy. One of the things that happened during the time I was governor, we had something in Delaware called the Delaware Quality Award. It was awarded every year to, it could be a nonprofit, it could be a governmental entity, it could be a company. And my last year as governor, the Quality Award of Delaware was awarded to the Delaware Division of Revenue, which is like the IRS in the state of Delaware. And they won it because of the kind of customer service that they provided, we provided to the people of our state. And I think we talked a little bit about Direct File as an entity that will help us provide a better service to folks. And I'm very proud of my staff and the work that we were able to do on Direct File to make sure that it is made permanent and hopefully more effective going forward. There's an entity called the General Accountability Office, GAO, that's been around forever. They are going to be doing some serious work over the next couple of months, because when the new Congress comes into office and new administration, they're going to be submitting to us something called a high-risk list. High-risk list, which is, I've used it as chairman of the Homeland Security Committee as a to-do list. And to the extent that the GAO, who does great work, they have smart people, to the extent that they can provide advice on these issues that we're discussing today, it could help get us closer to kind of bipartisan consensus that we're going to need if we're going to actually succeed going forward. One of the other stories I've shared with, I haven't shared this in this committee before, but Joe Biden had been president for like a week. Going back almost 4 years, and he called me. He's always called me Tommy. We've known each other for like 50 years. And he called me, he'd been president for like a week, and he called me and he said, Tommy, I have something I want you to do. And I said, yes, sir, Mr. President. And he said, I want you to bring over to the Oval Office within a week the relevant members of the Homeland Security, rather the relevant members of the Environment and Public Works Committee, which I chair now, that would help us put together an infrastructure bill, a comprehensive infrastructure bill. But he said, bring Democrats, bring Republicans, and come and meet with me and some others. And a week later, I showed up and brought with me a number of folks, including Ben Cardin, who sits to my right here, Shelley Capito, who's the ranking Republican from West Virginia, Jim Inhofe, who was on the committee at the time, the late Jim Inhofe. And anyway, we showed up and we met with the president, we met with the vice president. Vice President Harris was with us. Mayor Pete, I still call him Mayor Pete, Secretary of Transportation. And the president said, we all know we need to do work on infrastructure, roads, highways, bridges, water, wastewater, and so forth. And he said, I want to try to provide some leadership, and my administration provide that leadership. We're going to have a new president. We'll have different ideas who we would like to see to be the next president. But I know who I have, who's my pick would be, and not everybody would agree, but I think Sun would. But in any event, my advice to the new president will be that if it's Kamala Harris, my advice to her will be the same thing with the tax reform that Joe Biden did with respect to infrastructure, and to make it a bipartisan issue, do it early on, say this is a priority, and commit the time and effort to make it happen. Let me say one other quick thing there. The last thing I would say is it's really important. We've been joined by Senator Barrasso, one of my best buddies, but one of my things that I learned as governor a long time ago is pick the smartest people you can find, smart, honest, hardworking, able to build consensus, and put them in office. Danny Werfel sat at this table, about a year ago when he'd been nominated to be the commissioner for the IRS. And he's done, I think, an extraordinary job. Very proud of the work that he's done. But it's important who presidents nominate to serve in these jobs. And who gets confirmed. I'll close with this, if I could, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for giving me the gavel for a minute. But in the next Congress, I think you've probably already done this, but the idea of having a series of hearings where we bring in previous IRS administrators, Democrat and Republican, to sit out here at this table and to share ideas with us on and on, maybe on more than one occasion, I think could only be helpful. Thank you. It's been an honor to serve.
Did you already discuss that idea of having the past administrators?
Oh, yeah.
Senator Carper, always full of good ideas. He knows I'm going to call him often when he's in his so-called retirement.
Thank you so much.
Senator Brown.